Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman Schott, would you please lead us in prayer?
Heavenly Father, we come to you with humble hearts, and we ask that you give us wisdom as we make decisions that will affect our community. We ask you to bless our community and all of our residents. We ask you to protect our employees, police officers, and first responders. And Father, we thank you for members of the military, both past and present, and ask that you keep them safe. Lord, we pray that we will always be aware of your guidance in everything we do. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Well, looks like everybody's here tonight, that's good. Minutes.
Motion for the minutes?
Second.
Bennett? Yes. Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Bills.
Motion for the bills.
Second. Bennett? Yes. Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
We have an hour. No, we don't have one. Okay. Fireman's time.
Motion for the fireman's time?
Second.
Bennett? Yes. Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Bill, I have a question. Did we have 2 accidents at 93 and 212, or just one?
We just had the one that I'm aware of. Oh, fire only responded to one. I don't know about police.
Okay.
We only have the one.
Okay, yeah, just the one then.
Okay, Debbie, clerk treasurer's report.
A reminder to council that Mrs. Willis, Cindy Willis, utility clerk, her last day with us will be on Friday, April 30th. She will be retiring on that day. I have 2 requests for Apple Creek Bank. Number 1, I'd like to change the signature back to only 1 required signature on a check instead of 2. Once Mrs. Willis leaves, I will not have a second person that I'm comfortable with right now signing checks. I'd like to go back to just myself.
Okay. How about doing a motion right now?
Okay?
I'll make a motion to do that.
Second.
So I have a question?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Bennett? Yes. Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Now, there won't be that, 2 people won't see them, because Amy and I work together on them, but it'll just be required 1 signature. The other item is that we have a $55,000 plus savings account. So we opened the savings account at the time when Connie was here because there was a theft on our account. We started putting money into savings, we've gradually taken it out. I'd like to close that out, move it all into the checking, so we just have 1 account. They used to get the same interest. Checking is getting more interest than savings now. So I'd like to move that
How much is
55,000.
in that savings?
It's like 55,000.
Still the same amount?
Well, it's less than what it was originally, because we gradually have moved stuff over. But I'd like to clean it all out, move it over into checking.
I make a motion, we close out the savings.
Second?
And that will take 2 signatures for me to do that, so Cindy will help me. Bennett? Yes. Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Believe it or not, another phone call regarding garage sale day from the Lions Club. And I'm assuming they contacted us because of maybe offering a dinner or something that day to, or a lunch, people coming to town.
When did we have it last year?
August.
You have it on yours?
You have
Sorry.
an old business. No, that's fine. Ain't no problem. I'm glad we got.
So
it
just,
here.
you know, whenever you decide, we'll have to make sure we let them know, and then, I don't know if I read it or where I saw it or heard it, I think I read that the Legion is going to be holding the Memorial Day Parade, but I'm just not sure.
They are.
Yeah.
We talked to Larry on
Is that maybe a-
Saturday. They are doing everything as usual as far as Memorial Day.
So to let you know that they're planning on doing that.
What day are they doing that, Bill?
I don't know the date. It's usually the Monday of Memorial Day.
Monday.
Well, it's 31st.
Yeah.
Is that the date?
The 31st is a Monday, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then I have the legislation. I have the third reading of ordinance number 2105. It's an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the village of Beach City, Ohio to enter into a police service agreement with the village of Wilmot. Will be your third reading.
Motion to pass.
Second.
Bennett? Yes. Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yep.
And the last thing I believe I have is resolution number 2103. It's going to be the second reading. A resolution to authorize the mayor of the village of Beach City, Ohio to execute a contract with the city of Massillon. This is for their transportation agreement. And thank you, that's all I have.
The one reason too about the garage sale, Debbie told me that she's already had, besides, and there was like 4 or 5 other people in the village, so, but they're all, so.
Because they're seeing signs in other towns.
Well, they always do though, because Navarre always has theirs.
Theirs is
and-
May.
Yeah, and then Brewster always has theirs, well, they have theirs in the fall, don't they? Doesn't Brewster have theirs?
I think last year ours was the same.
Same time as.
Yeah, that's right, that's what we did, yeah, it was the same time.
So did you come up with a date that you want then?
I haven't, we can do that next time, but maybe we can find out when Brewster's having theirs. I don't know, last year, you can't really tell anything because last year was such a weird year.
They canceled their festival this year already, so
What's that?
they already canceled their
Yeah,
festival.
I did see that.
Why don't we go for the second weekend in August?
We do that.
I was thinking the 20th, 21st.
Well, that's the third weekend, that 20 and 21st.
When do kids start school?
I would think the following week. I'm not sure, but
That might give the moms a chance to get away.
Do you want to do it the same time Brewster did? Should we wait or should we?
well, we usually, well, they usually always do it after school starts.
Well,
Yeah, we
we
used
can
to always
wait
do it, but we used to do it
Kids
always
close.
the weekend after Labor Day.
Okay.
Is when we used to. And then last year we tried the August
After
one,
fairs
but
and stuff.
you can't really tell if that worked or
Well,
not because.
yeah, we went to
because of COVID.
August so people could shop before the kids went. to
Right,
school.
exactly, yep. So that's fine, either way, if you guys wanna,
John, do you want to wait and see what Brewster's gonna do or do it the same day or what? Doing whatever you
no,
want
it
to
doesn't
do.
matter to me, you know, I don't care, cause I'm not gonna do anything anyways.
What do you want to do? You want to go with the 20th or?
Yeah, why not? Pick a date, and then we can get the word out there.
And then
So that'd be
they'll know
August.
when to do it that's happening here.
Yeah,
Okay,
Then Brewster can go with our day.
there you go.
So we're gonna make
So
it
it'll
August the
be-
20th, 21st and 22nd, huh?
last year we only did 2 days.
2 days,
2
yeah.
days, Friday
Most
and
people
Saturday?
don't do it on
Sundays are
Sunday.
usually dead, yeah.
Okay, August 20th and 21st.
There you go,
Make a motion.
Motion.
Okay.
that's good.
I'm sorry, who seconded it?
McKinney.
Kidding? Bennett? Yes. Thomas?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes,
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
yes.
And thank you, guys. And you're done there, Deb?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. Okay, we're, Jim and me were talking, and we're just, the mission statement that you guys have, we were, if you guys come up with any ideas, if you give those to us by the next or by the next council meeting, and then me and him will look into it, and we'll see what we can figure out. It's just something sort of to keep everybody aware that we actually do have a vision. We make everybody else do it. You know, the fire department has to have their 5-year plan, and the police department, and also, I think it's a good idea. So if you guys end up, and they give you a little example on the front, and you can fill out the back if you have anything, and if not, if you don't, then that's fine too. But, help me and Jim out, figure that out.
Debbie, I got one question on that $1,500
Oh, yeah.
that we paid to get rid, do the tension on the paperwork. Why do we have to pay that, to the state or what?
The company we hired to destroy the record.
Good enough.
And we're not gonna end up with the 1,500, are we? Debbie?
I don't.
It doesn't look like it,
Okay.
maybe half, but, yeah, we got that contract today, or well, we got in touch with them today. You're probably talking around $1,000 maybe,
Okay?
so it won't be real bad, and they're local, so. The other thing, we're gonna need a safety employee meeting.
Okay, that's me, Franny, and Jack.
Yeah. Jim, do you think that'll take more than an hour?
No, an hour should be.
So if you guys wanna do that like an hour before our meeting next
Next
week, next
meeting
time?
on-
That's great, 6 o'clock?
Okay, that way then we can, yeah,
Before the next council meeting?
yeah. Okay. All right, thanks, guys. All right. Okay, Big Bill, you're up, Fire Chief.
Ooh, It's gonna be a painful night, be easy on me. Be easy on me. Calls here to date so far is 86, as of the same date in 2020, we ran 82 calls. Our mutual aid summary is as follows: we give mutual aid to Brewster 4 times, we give mutual aid to Strasburg once, we give mutual aid to Mount Eaton once, and we receive mutual aid from Brewster 1 time. I got the list of calls on the back there. Deb's got it if you guys are interested in that and what we ran.
Was that a fire call in Mount Airy?
It was a barn fire, but it was an accidental tone. But unfortunately, it goes down as a run. So they requested Brewster and Wilmot that day, and they toned each city. And none of them made it there. It was a working barn fire, but nobody made it there. They got sent home right away.
You're on the second page.
So, let's start off easy. Again, Fire Cat will be here April 28th. That's next Wednesday. We will be up at the Fairless Middle School doing that at 1 p.m. I want to say last year it ran us about $1,400. Probably be a little bit more this year because we'll have to test the new fire hose that you guys just bought us. So that's 2,100 foot on top of what we had last year. But I mean, we got to do it. It's something we have to do every year. So we're probably looking about 1,700 this year to do that, and that's already been approved.
Even when you buy new hoses, it all has to be tested, huh?
Yes, sir. It's tested when you buy it, but it's still got to be tested yearly. So, yeah, they're.
When we buy it, do we get a letter saying it's been tested a certain thing?
Oh, yeah, it's certified, it's tested, it tests before it leaves the factory, so. But if they're gonna pull all the hose off the truck, it only makes sense to test it, you know what I mean? So we'll go ahead and test it. I mean, we shouldn't have any problems with the new hose. Now, I can't swear with some of the other, I mean, we've updated all of our hose, all of our cloth hose pre-87 has been taken out of service.
Good.
Minus, we probably left 4 or 5 sections on the tanker for water haul purposes only, for filling swimming pools and such as that. But other than that, as far as in-service fire hose, we have all rubber hose now, and it's all within NFPA standards, so we should be good to go for a while, minus, I mean, if we blow a section or two next Wednesday, then obviously we'll have to look at replacing it, but.
We're gonna do that every year then, like replace whatever we lose, right?
Right,
To stay up
right,
to date.
and,
That way
and I mean, we
Right.
probably should formulate a game plan of, instead of having to buy 2,100 foot at one time, we should probably be thinking ahead and say, hey, let's do
Absolutely.
a few hundred this year, a few hundred next year, and I mean, we can think about that, so.
Yep.
And it's definitely needing added to the 5-year plan, so. The power cots and load systems that we put in our ambulances. If you remember, we got the power cot and the 2 load systems a little sooner than we got the last cot. So the one power cot and both load systems, the warranty will lapse on June 30th, I believe, 2021. So I went ahead and had Stryker write us up a service contract for both the load systems and both of the cots. Now, this will be a prorated service contract because the one cot does not actually expire warranty until February. So the service contract on one cot will pick up in June, the service contract on the newer cot will pick up in February. So this year's contract will be a little cheaper than the next, and I'll explain that to you. So they give me two quotes to cover both cots and power loads. They quoted it two ways. They quoted it with battery replacement and without battery replacement. With battery replacement, they quoted $4,451.84, and without battery replacement, it's $3,870.09. I do know that batteries are pricey. I don't know that the batteries are pricey enough to justify $1,000 a year, but we won't know that until we lose a battery and then wish we did it. We could always change our mind, add it later if you guys are interested in doing that. But we do gotta definitely get a service contract on that. It's too much equipment, too much money tied up to not have a service
When we
contract.
buy them cots, what's our guarantee to start with on them?
It's a 1 year full warranty on the cot, and then after that, it's up to us.
I
Unfortunately,
mean, the price we paid for them, you'd think you'd do a little bit better than that.
I agree, 100%. So the actual price on them contracts after the prorated, which would be next year, it's $53,1976 per year for one with the batteries, and $45,0674 without batteries. That's going to be a yearly contract. Like I said, it stinks, but we got $100,000 into two pieces of equipment over there. We need to make sure it's covered. I'm wishy-washy on whether we pay $1,000 for batteries or not. I don't know that that's necessary. I think we could always take the gamble, and that I'll leave that up to you guys. But one way or another, we need to get them under contract. We don't have to decide today. They're under warranty until June, but we need to make sure we stay on top of it so we don't let
Check
that
with
warranty
somebody and see
lapse.
what them batteries are.
Okay, let's do that, and then I'll get back to you. I'll
Okay.
talk to the guys over there, just so you guys are aware it's coming, so. The last thing I got, this is the tough one. So we were turned down for our FEMA grant already. We were kicked out by the computer system, due to lack of call volumes. I told you guys last year, so the last brand new SCBA's we bought as the Village of Beach City, we bought in 2013. Them 4 SCBA's are currently on engine 131, that's the older of the two engines, and they will be good until 2028. An SCBA has a lifespan of 15 years on a bottle. So we bought them in 13, they were manufactured in 13, they'll be good until 2028. The problem is the bottles and the packs on the Rescue and the new pump, the lifespan on the bottles lapsed last November. And I told you we weren't gonna worry, we were gonna try for a grant one more year. Unfortunately, the grant fell through, and now we gotta worry. We're sitting over there with 12 packs total, and 8 of them are expired. They shouldn't even be being used, and we have to use them, we have no choice. So what you got in your hand, I got a hold of Joe Alexander from Fenley Fire Force, I'm sorry. So he quoted a price last year. At the end of the year last year, we had some FEMA money left. We were gonna try to jump and buy some of these packs. It fell through. So I told him the shape we're in, and he said he'll do as best as he can. So he got back to me yesterday with a new quote, and you can compare the two. So we ultimately, eventually, are going to have to buy 8 packs. We are probably the only department around that still shares SCBA mask. Everybody that I know of has a personal fitted mask for each member. Number one, with COVID, this is a terrible plan, absolutely terrible. I don't care how clean we get these masks, we're putting them on, we're breathing in them, we're sweating in them, and the next fire, another guy's putting the same mask on and he's breathing in it and sweating in it. We gotta stop this practice. We have to get up to speed with our packs, we have to get up to speed with our masks. So we need a minimum, eventually, of 8 packs, 20 masks, and as of right now, if we go with MSA, they are throwing the batteries in, the spare batteries, and they're throwing the charger in. That right there is a savings with just the batteries and the charger. As you can see, the batteries were gonna cost us $1,770 and the charger's $410, and he's throwing it all in right now.
And they're giving you 8 more masks.
And the masks are the same. He gives us a price of $10 cheaper per mask. So each pack we buy will come with 1 mask, it'll come with 2 bottles,
Okay.
and it'll come with the pack. So what I'm doing, I need 20 masks total. So if we buy the 8, we obviously gotta buy 12 spare masks, which will all be personally fitted to each of our members that are trained to fight a fire. If we buy 4, obviously we gotta buy 16 masks now, so that's where your prices range. We gotta get out of sharing masks, especially in the times we're in right now, we have to. I mean, our practice is poor at best. I mean, I don't know the answer here. The answer in my eyes is buy all 8. I know the price tag is extremely pricey, but it gets us back into code. It puts both of our trucks back where they should be and where they should have been to start with. And I mean, honestly, we've bought time. Wilmot got packs 2-3 years ago, donated their old packs. We got through a year and a half with them. They expired. Brewster got new packs last year. They donated their old packs, and we've got through another year with them. So, I mean, we've drugged this as long as we can. Unfortunately, I was hoping FEMA would step up and say, hey, you know what, you guys need these. We're gonna buy them, but they didn't. They kicked us out because of call value.
You know, let me ask you something.
Back there, Bill.
Pardon me?
Do you have what they have in their account back there? Oh,
I was gonna say, yeah, look at that, because that's pretty close.
$60,000.
I wanted to ask, did we foresee any of all this when we put the levy on? Is that gonna help you to get this stuff?
So the levy was put on for 3 reasons. I'm putting 4 up, 3. We put a levy on for a Life Pack 15. We were able to buy the Life Pack 15 out of CARES Fund. We put a levy on for a second cot, and I believe we paid for a lot of that cot with CARES. Well, no, I take that back. We financed the second cot. And the levy was put on for the SCBA's in case we didn't get the grant. So the levy was intended to buy these. The money will definitely be there over the course of the 5 years to pay for these because that's what we figured into this levy. And we've bought even more time because the Life Pack 15, a $30,000 piece of equipment we got with CARES money. Now, I've been told by my grant writer, and I don't know, he says that everybody's about to receive more CARES money. I don't know where we're at with that. I'm just throwing that out there. I know you can buy packs with CARES money. If we get CARES money, that would be ideal. If we don't, then we need to make some really
So the
hard
levy
decisions
money
really
we got
soon.
coming in is enough to pay for this if it has to. Are we gonna get any other surprises after this is done again? To where you got your levy money for something else?
It's surprises as far as, I mean, I can't tell you tomorrow we ain't gonna take a truck out and blow it up.
Well, you
I mean,
already
I
talked
don't
about
know.
buying a new truck.
Well, the truck's gotta happen eventually too. I mean, we got a 30-year-old engine and a almost 30-year-old rescue truck. I would like to combine them into one and save the money and save the manpower and save the maintenance on equipment.
Debbie, this money that we would get in from the levy is not enough to cover this for 1 year for the whole thing. So we have to do it over time?
Yeah, who's this through, Bill?
This is through Fire Force. This is actually,
It is fire?
Joe Alexander. It's who we bought our last, gear through. They sell Fire Decks gear. They sell MSA packs. I'm giving you this as a price. I could call Scott. They may make a better deal. I do know Brewster just went through this and MSA was the best price they got for their grant.
Could
And
we
they're
do
nice
this
packs.
over a 5-year period, whatever the levy is, per year, or we have to pay for it all at one time?
I'd have to get a hold of Joe and find out. I don't know. So you're saying like a finance plan like we did on the cops?
Yes.
I don't know. I would have to ask him that.
Well, that way we wouldn't have to come up with all the money or go and borrow the money
Well,
now.
I mean, obviously, we're not coming up with $59,528 tonight. I know that. I mean, at least I don't think we are unless Debbie hit the lottery and didn't tell us.
Is it 59?
It is, the total for 8 packs would be $59,528. That would get us everything we need.
Unless it's, they have to be bid. Are these state contracts?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, it has to be underneath 50,000.
It'd have to be either state term or there was an amendment to the statute for purchases of personal protective equipment necessary to respond to an emergency, which I don't know that this is going to fall into it, but just FYI, if we're gonna move forward with it, it may have to be bid if it's in excess of 50.
But Steve, if we do it over a 5-year period, can we get away with that there?
Most likely, no.
No.
I mean, you can't break it out so that you
I
can push it
understand.
under.
And the thing is we're talking about all the masks and everything, so it's not really the time, it's like, well, it is the time. It's like we need it.
Well, and like I said, we could meet in the middle, we could do four, say, do 4 this year, do 4 next year. That would put us at half the money, but we would need to buy all the packs now. The problem with doing 4 is, he's throwing in 6 free batteries, which is spare batteries, which is what Brewster runs. I'm trying to kind of mock them. If we go over 6 packs, if we go down to 4, he's only gonna throw in 4 batteries. He's not gonna give us more batteries than what, so then eventually in the long run, we're gonna end up paying for 2 batteries.
So
that we
what
wouldn't
it
have
does
paid
is we have to cut it back to $9,528, some way or other on the contract, and then pick it up later. And you could get away with that per year. That way the contract would be $50,000.
You could get 6 of them for $49,260.
And like I said, I'm not saying we have to jump tonight. I'm just throwing these prices out there. He told me this is a 30-day price. He told me he could probably get it extended. I told him realistically, my goal is to have new packs in that building before the end of summer. I think that's doable. I think that's realistic. For me to come over here tonight and say, hey, I need $60,000, that's not realistic. I understand that.
Work on it and bring it back to us and see what you can do to keep it down, that we don't go with that 50,000.
Well, he's already got that laid out.
Yeah,
It's already on
or
there.
you can just bid it. I pulled up Brewster did submit for bid.
Brewster did. They bid theirs. They actually got 2 bids. They got a bid from Scott, and that's why I'm telling you the prices. Scott was way higher than MSA, and MSA come in way cheaper for what they wanted. That's why I went with, and our guys have looked at the MSA packs. We've demoed them. They're super nice packs. I mean, anything's obviously nice compared to what we got, obviously. But my pick as chief would either be MSA or Scott, and I think Scott's gonna be a little more pricey. And I mean, I'll definitely get a quote from Scott, I mean, if we wanna do that, and I'm sure my guys would like to see the Scotts anyway.
Okay,
That
let me
one's right under
just
50.
settle one thing about the money coming in. I don't believe the money you're speaking of is going to be considered CARES Act. It's the American Rescue Act,
Okay, and you may be right.
and it's a little bit different of how it's to be used. And I don't know for sure if it goes to like the CARES Act. I read like 4 different options, and the last one was more what we would use it for, which would be a,
Infrastructure.
infrastructure, thank you. So, we're gonna have to read into that.
Yeah, that's fine.
As far as your levy money, we used to get our levy money in February. It is now going on the end of April. We have not got our first draw on our levy for our tax base this year yet. That's how late Stark County is sending it to us. So between you checking that and me checking the money coming in and what's promised that hasn't been paid, we'll have a better idea at next meeting.
Okay.
That's perfect. Like I said, I'm just throwing this out there. I wasn't able to make the last meeting. I just need you to be aware, we're there. I mean, we're at that price. I'm sure I'm not gonna get them any cheaper. I mean, we're looking at $60,000 to get 8 packs, 20 masks, and batteries to run them. And I mean, I'll gladly get some quotes through Scott. I'll get some quotes through whoever I can, and if we have to bid them, I'm perfectly fine with that. I really am. So,
I watch those little 5-minute speeches that Biden makes all the time, and if he talks anything about the COVID, I'll let you know.
yeah, like I said, I'm going off of what the grant writer told me. He said there should be more CARES funding coming. I don't know that. I haven't seen
You know,
anything
they talk
myself.
about more checks and everything else like this.
But I mean, this was definitely figured into the levy money when we did our presentation across the street from the levy. This was definitely part of that 3 mil levy we put on,
So Debbie, if they get the money in April, then when would be the second one? That would be late
It
also.
used to be
February.
February and September, and the time schedule's really
It could be all the way
changing.
back down to Christmas
And
then.
I really didn't call Stark County and pressure them
Oh, no.
because I don't even know if they're working full, I'm assuming they're working more than what they were, but I don't know if they're full
Oh.
staff now.
Okay.
And like I said, I can find out from Fire Force if they can do a payment plan, if they need the money. Let me get all that information. I just want to come over here and prepare you guys, give you that chance to take that big deep breath, because we're there, and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, we're technically, we're running on expired packs right now. They're working, but it's just like my boys at Stark State, he's using one of the older packs, you know, because that's the only thing we have that's certifiable, and as soon as you go to school, that's the first thing they look at. And if it's not certifiable, they, nope, you can't use this. So I mean, we're getting by, but it won't be for much longer. So it's definitely something that we have to decide soon, maybe not tonight, but soon. Realistically, like I said, by the end of summer, I'd like to have some of these packs. I'd like to have 8. If we can only do 4, I'd like to have them in the house. But I'll get as much information as I can. I don't know that I can make the next meeting. I might be on noons. I gotta look at the schedule.
So that's good, that way then we won't have to spend the money.
Yeah, I'll get Dale to come over for me instead.
Good.
No, I'll look at the schedule.
All right.
But that's all I got.
Thank you, Chief. All right. Chief Guy, you're up, sir.
How's it going, guys? A couple things. I've got, my field training officer Joel would like to attend another street cop training. It's the one that me, him, Kylan, and 2 of my other officers, pilots, total have been to. This training is just a continuation of this. It's a separate part of it. It's all about officer safety, making stops and approaches on traffic stops. It's $299. I've got plenty of money in my my training account. If my officer, especially him being my field training officer, wants to take training to help him be safer, I'm all for it. If you guys are okay with that. He signed me up for it. I'm not gonna go, but just for Debbie's sake, she's gonna see a bill for me, but we're gonna get that taken care of. And
Saw it already.
okay, perfect. Yeah, she's already saw it, so it's gonna be taken care of. But if you guys are okay with it, I'd like to go ahead and let him attend that. It's gonna be in Cleveland, so there's no overnight stays or anything like that. It'll just be
How much, $299?
$299 plus the salary for the day.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, come back, what did you say, plus what?
$299 plus his salary for the day? Plus
That makes a
the-
difference on how we do our
Oh,
work.
sorry.
I'll make a motion, we send him for the day.
I'll second it.
Bennett,
Yes?
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Do you have a date on that?
Sorry. I would like to purchase 2, so we have, Python radars back at the department. I came across a department that has some of them that are the same ones we're using, and they are certified, calibrated, they work. It's the same thing we use, he'll sell them to us for $60 a piece. To buy those brand new, you're looking at $2,000 a piece.
What were these things?
Radars,
$60 each?
$60 each. I'd like to buy 2 of them for $120. They're already calibrated for the year, pretty much what we're paying for the calibration fee. So we'll get the
They're already calibrated.
They're already calibrated and passed. So replace those today, you'd be spending $2,000 to get 2 new ones.
I make a
So-
motion, we buy the 2 for $60 each.
$60 each. Yep. And there'll be,
Okay.
Where are these coming from?
Knox County Sheriff's Office.
What does that give us then?
What do you mean?
For the, all radars?
They'll give us, we have 2 right now in our cars.
Okay.
I'm just getting 2 extras, pretty much, so we have extra parts if one of them go bad or one doesn't calibrate. We
So
don't have
these
to,
are the same as what we got?
they're the same as what we have, so I don't have to go out and spend $2,000 on a brand new radar. I can pull one of these out. The only cost you're gonna have yearly on them is to calibrate them.
Okay.
Or we can calibrate them once we use them. If we had to put them in, I'd rather just, they're $50 a year to get them calibrated, or 60, whatever we're paying. So I'd rather just keep them calibrated. That way, if one of our radars go out, we're not trying, scrambling to find a new radar, or we're not paying $2,000 to get a new one. So this should buy some time a little bit. This is a good deal. I figured we'd jump on it.
Did you second that, Brittany?
Yes, you did.
Oh, she did?
Yes, you did.
I thought
Bennett,
you did.
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
The other thing, the Memorial Day Parade, you guys already talked about that. I was contacted, I believe, either yesterday or Saturday by the Legion, letting me know that they are planning on doing the full Memorial Day. I'll start getting my officers lined up to be able to do that parade unless something for some reason would change on the state level. I plan on doing like we do in years past with that.
Blocking off the same route.
I would assume so. Yeah, but it should be the same as the years past. We're just I'll get everything lined up and ready to go.
You'll have one in Wilmot too, right? They're doing that one too as well, right?
I don't, I would assume, I think it's the same people doing it, so yeah.
Yeah, they're doing both.
Yeah, I know for sure Beach City's still on, so we should be good there. I've started working with Mark, I think Mayor, you and Mark are working a little bit on this, on the grass cutting and property cleanups. So we're starting to address those issues. He's got a well started, so we're gonna really try to get on top of those and make sure we're watching those. And then here's my big spending moment. I would like to look at purchasing, if the funds become available with the safety money, is look at getting a garage for back at the police department. If it would follow under it, it would be under infrastructure, I believe. I have not done the research too far yet. I want your ideas, talk to you guys about it first, but if we can do it with that money, then I wouldn't mind putting a garage back in there to where we can park cars inside a garage.
I talked to him about this, about just putting the garage up and the roof on it. And he brought up about the line running over part of it. I looked at it the other night. I think you could build the garage and still not have to move that line.
We can't move that line, no matter what. That is a main power pole there and a main system. that comes in.
I'm telling you, I think the building will go up and not have to move that
Not
line.
touch it. Okay, perfect.
I mean, what I looked at,
Okay.
I'll talk to Jim later on it and we'll look at it.
Yeah.
But I seen 2 cars parked there, forward and back. And I still got room behind that before I get to the line.
Okay.
So I think it would fit.
Okay.
But I'd like to look,
Yeah,
have Jim
like
look
I
at
said,
it with
it's
me.
just- Yeah, and that's not bad. It's just an idea. It's something, if we've got the money, we can spend it on it. We
I
can put it
don't
around.
wanna bust your bubble, but infrastructure, we've already talked about that, and there's a lot of infrastructure in town that needs it.
Okay, that's,
That's
like,
probably,
an idea.
You know,
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
fine.
seriously, if you think about it, there's, water lines can be replaced, stuff like
If that all
that.
can be done, I don't know what it all covers. I haven't researched it yet. It was, like I
In
said,
infrastructure, I don't think a garage would be
Well, it
considered
said, the
infrastructure.
paperwork says water and sewer,
Yeah.
is what I'm reading, but
Water
it
and
could
sewer.
change. but
I have no clue. Like I said, it was just an idea. And if we've got it and we can spend on certain things, if there's something that needs more than us, then absolutely go for it.
He might come up with something later, even though we don't have to go underneath that.
Yeah, we can, it was just an idea.
Well, I understand, I know.
Yeah,
I
but I
just wanted to let
appreciate
you
it.
know up front that.
No, absolutely, no, and that's why I wanted to
If
bring
we
it to you
can get
guys.
it, we'd be great, because I hate to see them cars sit out day in and day out,
They've been
all
doing it
winter long,
forever,
and they've
though.
been doing it, I know that.
I know.
You've got enough garage space down there, won't you?
Yeah, you do.
No, they did away with that years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, conflict of interest or whatever.
No, certain people didn't want me to know what was going on.
That was before my time.
Yes.
Other than that, that is all I have. I appreciate everything.
Do you have anything about the Wilmot hours? The police going
Yep.
back and forth?
Yeah, I've got it on this paper I'm gonna give you guys here, and then I
Oh.
gave it has the time there, and then we've got this one still going through before the contract resets.
Did you look up what I asked you to look up about the new pistol that shoots little balls instead of all that other stuff?
I'm
What,
lost
the
on what
rubber
you're trying
bullets?
to, I was kinda lost on what you're looking for. There's several different options. You have you have like bean bags that shoot out of shotguns, you have mace
This-
balls that shoot out of.
It's a little ball that big around, it goes in, and and then shoots out stuff at the end where you don't have the taser.
That would be, I believe what you're talking about is the mace, paint, they're pretty much paintballs, but they're mace balls. You hit them and they explode and the mace goes up
Okay,
in their
that sounds,
face.
actually, to me, I think it's a better deal than the other thing, but.
It does seem like a lot of tasers fail anymore. I've noticed that, 'cause I watch a lot of those police videos, and there's a
I
lot
know.
of times that those tasers do not work. If they
Hannity
don't-
had this on his news broadcast
Oh, did
one
he?
night, and he's got one, and he was showing the people how it worked and
Mhm.
everything, and I really thought it was a
Might be
good
an
thing, I
idea.
have no idea what kind of cost.
Yeah, might be an idea.
It's,
Look into it.
there's several ideas. Obviously, any other extra tools we can have, they're non-lethal. That's just one more step away from my guys having to pull their gun.
Like I said,
Well, how many times have your guys tased somebody?
None yet, we gotta get certified with it, we haven't been able to with COVID. So I would hope they never have to tase somebody, knock on wood, that should be hopefully one of the last resorts.
How many times have your officers had to draw their weapon?
I have no clue. I can tell you I've done it at least 3 or 4 times here. Me personally.
It's just an idea I have because of all the stuff going on in the country. Trying to get it to where they can't turn around and sue you and everything. Because one lawsuit to us would wipe us out.
Well, they have to win first.
That's
And
why-
I
then win.
understand that.
That's why we have body cams and dash
Right.
cams.
And that's great with that body cam. I like
Yeah,
that.
body cams, I absolutely appreciate those. They work great. They've covered my
Yes, they do.
officers on several things. It's helped not only with covering my officers, but I've been able to do trainings with my officers. I can go back and I can watch their body cameras and say, okay, you know, I seen you stood here, or, you know, you had your weapon to where they could easily reach it. You might wanna kind of tilt this way a little bit, or make sure you go on the other side, watch your surroundings, and it's actually been really good for not only covering them, but for trainings. Because I can't always be, obviously I can't be with them on every stop or every call, but I can also, I know Mark reviews them, Greg reviews them, I review them, and Joel review, we all have access to review every officer's body camera footage. And we go over those on a daily basis. We check their cameras to make sure that not only are they doing the best things safe, but that they're also treating our residents properly. And that they're being professional when they pull somebody over, they're being professional in the calls, and that I, you know, and that I don't have to worry about, you know, he said, she said. I've had complaints where someone got pulled over and said my officer cussed them out. I said, okay, let me watch the body
Yes.
camera footage, you're more than welcome to come in and file a complaint.
Yeah.
And, oh, I don't wanna get anybody in trouble, go back and watch the video and they ain't cussing
No.
off. So it's a great tool, it's a really good tool, but that is, so I appreciate that, and as long as I'm here, we will always have body cameras, and even, I don't care that they're $1,000 a piece, just like the Lexipol policies, they've saved us more times than they're worth their money, so. Other than that, that is all I have for you. I'll pass these out to you, and appreciate everything.
All right, thank you, Chief. Jim, I think you're up, bud.
Okay, well, everything that the police and fire don't spend, I need to spend.
Everybody needs money.
Sorry, I just wanted to lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah, that's not the way to do it.
Try again.
If
No,
you know
actually,
anything over a certain amount comes out of your salary.
yeah, I get it.
Oh, yeah.
First off, electric department. We're looking at, some of the results from our Osmos testing that we had done on the poles, and we're looking at replacing. We've got 9 on the list left to replace. So the guys are starting to do some of that stuff, pole replacement. And we also had some conversations about some bigger projects that we need to look at. And I think one of them is down at the dead end at Strasburg. There's some poles there at Dover Break, I believe, is right there, and Winfield Power Equipment. There's a major pole right there that has some problems, and it's 3-phase, and there's some transformers on it. And it's a little bit bigger of a project than I think what 2 guys can handle. So we're gonna look at that, get some prices put together, and see what we can do. Electric department. Water and wastewater, as you guys can see, we did start replacing some of the valves here for the paving project. We've got one in down at 2nd Avenue East. Tomorrow, we're gonna dig here in front of City Hall at Church Street. We have 2 valves to do there. One is for the main line and one is a hydrant watch valve. Not sure that we will get both of those in tomorrow, but they'll both be in this week. And then we're continuing to look at that. We've learned quite a bit on the first valve. We found some other valves that have issues because of lack of use. And when we exercised them, they didn't do what we thought they were gonna do. And that's why it took us an extra day on the first valve. But moving forward, it should be a lot better. And it just created more work for us. The water tower, we talked about that last time. I did get that inspected, and I just got the report today. And in the report, it says the tower was still in good shape. There is some surface rust starting to show inside and out, especially on the top, the very top of the dome, where it gets most of the weather. There's some areas that are starting to rust, so
Is that on the outside or the inside, Jim?
both. There is some inside.
How far does the water go up to that top thing? It don't go all the way up, does it?
Inside?
Yeah,
Well, the inside is where the seam is. There's a
Okay.
seam that goes around.
okay.
He saw some corrosion on that seam inside, and then the outside, of course, is the cap itself, the whole top of the dome where it gets most of the weather. Some paint was missing. I have the report if anybody wants to see it.
I know that that was painted less than 8 years ago, inside and out. How long was the guarantee on that? 'Cause I know paint's supposed to last more than 8 years.
Oh.
And if it's the inside, that's supposed to last even longer, because that's the part that should be
Most important.
most,
Yeah.
the most important part. So if that needs redone, I wanna see if the painting company has to come back and redo it.
I'll see what I can do to find it.
Because that was less than 8 years ago.
There should be a file in there somewhere on that, what that was done.
I'll see if I can find it.
Cause I know,
The report was actually a good report. It wasn't,
well, I'm not saying the report wasn't good, I'm just saying that the company that did it, should have, to come and fix it.
some type of warranty.
Yeah.
I'm sure the warranty is not expired,
Okay.
We'll look into that.
because they were still painting that when I first moved down here. And I've only been on council less than 8 years, and I had to be here one more, so I know it's been 8 years that they finished the painting of that. So if you could check into that, when the warranty expires and everything,
Okay,
I'd
I'll
appreciate,
see what I can find.
I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
How did we do, Jim, with trees down at the sewer plant? Is there any idea what to do?
The mayor and I have discussed that. We have some pretty good ideas of what to do. We are gonna have to get rid of those trees though. And, we're thinking of in the fence itself, using it as the barrier, putting those, slats in it.
In other words, how many trees you got there to dig out?
I don't know, but it's 70, me and John measured it yesterday, it's 78 feet down and 8 feet high. So about 80 by 8, so I gotta check on the pricing on the slats and stuff. Our guys will have to dig them out, I mean, I don't think those are gonna be that far down, they haven't been there.
Can you get a backhoe up there to dig them out?
I'm sure.
Can you? Okay,
Yeah, we'll let Lonnie do that.
okay.
Give him some practice.
I seen him on there trying to work it the other
Yeah.
day.
Oh, yeah, they're all getting used to it.
Next item, I've looked at the County One lift station, the one that was in the accident that the person drove through. And we found several issues there. The first major one is the inside of the wet well itself is a concrete structure, and the concrete is deteriorating badly. It's falling out and basically crumbling apart on the inside. And it's a common thing for concrete structures in the wastewater field. So I need to look at getting that cleaned and relined. And in the process, the structure itself, the pumps and the whole assembly on top that got hit are original from 1978. And so it's very aged up there. And I'm working on getting a price to replace the pumps themselves. So basically, we're probably gonna refurbish the entire system there.
The accident did cause none of that problem with?
It
none of
did
that?
not.
Okay.
These are things that we've discovered since the accident. And then also the switch gear that got knocked off, got some concrete work to do to get that reset.
But that's insured, right?
That's part of the insurance
Insurance.
part.
We got trouble with the second I don't know if you call it number 2, going out, where we had to redo that whole thing at one time.
Yeah, this one's about
That
due for that
acid
as
just
well.
eats everything up.
Mhm. Yeah, this is in the same boat as that one would have been. So I'm looking into that, rather than just putting it back together with the parts that, the insurance company bought for us, which we will use. We can still use everything except for the fiberglass hood. Moving forward, I think it's in our best interest to refurbish that, because we have to take it apart and reline the inside of it anyhow. And being the age of it, it's a good thing to look into maybe getting that fixed up. And I'm looking at grants and different things to try to help us fund that.
When you say reline the inside with something, are you talking more than, we'll just say paint against the cement blocks?
It's more than just paint. It's like a polymer coating that they put inside of them.
Because I've always thought about, like, a thermos bottle. You know what the inside of the thermos is, glass?
Mhm.
That's what I thought for a water tank. They're thinking about it yet.
Yeah, I'm not too well versed on that, frankly.
I haven't either, I just talked to people about it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking at on County One's pump station. And I guess we did have a leak seekers report from last year, and nobody ever saw the report. So I contacted the company that did the job, and it was back in September that they did. And I was able to get a copy of that report, and on that, there was 3 hydrants and 1 service that they found that was leaking last fall. And the 3 hydrants were already on our radar as far as leaking hydrants, and then the service is something we're gonna have to explore to try to find what's going on there. So.
How many extra, things do we have for the,
I have 3 hydrants in stock right now. 2 of them we're going to use for the paving project.
okay?
And then I think it's 2 other ones that were on that leak report that I need to look into.
I used to try to keep 1 or 2 on hand all the time.
Yeah, and I'm afraid I'm gonna have to probably purchase a couple to get us through the year and get these leaking hydrants fixed. It's all part of our water loss, you know, any water that goes in the ground, we pay for and don't recoup any of the funds for, so. I talked to Lonnie about spring flushing. We usually flush our hydrants twice a year. We're going to hold off until after this valve project is done and we get some of these other hydrants replaced to do our spring flushing. Hopefully by May sometime we'll have our flushing out of the way, and then we'll do our next one in the fall.
When we do that, just like the one we had down here, we had it open for a long time.
Mhm.
Do we have to do that over then? Do you have to reflux then?
You don't necessarily have to, but when you flush
Something
beyond
like-
there,
Okay.
you're gonna stir it up again anyhow.
Okay.
So it's best to do it in a systematic way where you're refreshing
So
the
you
water.
just work your way right to it, okay?
That's right. So yes, they will be to be done again. Next line is the stormwater pump station down by the Tower Street. Yeah, and I guess that's a common subject here.
I think we have I think we have a solution. I think Jim has a solution.
Where's that at, Jim? I can't.
That's the one that Barb always talks about.
Oh, okay, good enough. I know.
Yeah, from what I've gathered thus far, I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I was told that the pump sits on a brick down in the hole, and that the connection for the outlet is just a rubber band that holds it together, which the band tends to fall off once in a while, especially when it's heavy use, and then the pump just pumps and swirls around.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at having someone come in and actually mount the pump to the floor or to the structure itself in the bottom and get the exit pipe or the connector what it should be. And I know it's funded through the general fund, but to continue the way we're going, we're gonna be wasting money on pumps because they fall off the stand or they suck something up and it ruins the pumps.
I never seen that part, but it's a big hole, I'll tell you that.
It's a big hole.
And I tried to get 2 pumps at one time. So when the one went bad, I had another pump that could pump the stuff out because the neighbors hauled it. Right. The line going up to the Ford garage is a new line up through there, but the people up there at one house built the garage on top of it. It's another one of them places.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have, never did, but I told people, but they never made a move it.
Well, my concern is the pump station right now, and I do want to get it fixed right, so we don't have these issues, and I also wanted to make the second purchase of a second pump for a spare pump, because I think it's a good thing for us to have that, where the guys could just pull a pump, put a new pump in when one goes bad. And moving forward, you have that spare pump, you pull the bad one out, have it rebuilt, which is cheaper, and then you always have a spare. Especially for a storm pump, because if we were to have a rain event now, the guys would have to come out and manually pump that well out.
Nobody ever explained to me about the rubber band stuff. I never heard of that before.
So this will all be bolted down and it'll all be solid and it's not gonna move, so.
Well, it might be something different, I'm in it better.
Yeah, the way-
I know I don't wanna crawl down the hole because it's big.
Yeah.
We were gonna send you down there too, but we were gonna ask about.
It's black.
We do have to hire somebody for that, right?
I'm gonna have to hire a contractor to come out and fix this right,
And
yeah.
clean it and all that.
Yes, I'm gonna have someone's gonna have to clean it out first, so they can see what they're doing and have someone come look at it.
I'll have to show you where the building's on top of the line.
Okay.
I can show that to you.
Next item is the street department. I did get some pricing on street sweeping. I think I shared with you last time about the price for the gentleman to come fix the hopper and inspect the brakes was $1,200 on the old machine. I got a price from a local outfit they're from Akron, I think, that used to be Buckeye Sweeping, and now it's just a big conglomerate. But they gave me a price of $150 an hour, 4-hour minimum, for them to come and sweep our streets, which is $600. But I'm guessing probably, and I've talked to Tar about it, he said very easily someone could sweep our whole town in a day, so 8 hours, so roughly $1,200 for someone to come and do it for us. And with the Memorial Day parade coming, I think it's something we should maybe kick around to have done. And the gentleman said he could come within a couple days' notice and whenever we wanted. So it's something to consider. I looked at us renting a machine and bringing it here ourselves and driving it and doing the work ourselves, and it would actually be more expensive. The one machine was $2,500 a day just to rent the machine.
Could I ask you, how many times would you have to bring a guy in if you have me to come?
As often as council deemed necessary. So I know Brewster contracts with the same company for 5 sweepings a year. And it's usually before a holiday. I know Memorial Day, Labor Day, July 4th, throughout the summer. And their last sweeping was usually before Thanksgiving. And they would always cancel that because of leaves and everything else. So at least 4 times a year through the summer months. So yes, you're talking $4,800 a year. And probably with the age of the machine we have, we could be spending that just keeping it going every year. So I just wanted to throw that out there and to consider Memorial Day, the parade, having someone come sweep before that.
We could always just do it once a year, twice a year too.
Mhm.
I mean, how long has it been since we've had it done? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It really has, so, yeah.
I wanna make a motion to go ahead and get it done before Memorial Day now,
I'll second that.
and we'll worry about the rest later. But I don't wanna do probably no more than twice a year if we do it. And then look at what we're gonna do with the sweeper down the line.
Yep.
Either we're gonna start repairing a little at a time or get rid of it,
Mhm.
okay?
I'd say now and then before Labor Day,
Mhm.
because that will get it before the leaves fall. And then after the leaves fall, we do the leaf cleanup anyhow.
Okay.
Okay, let's vote on this. Okay. I have a motion by Bailey, a second by McKinney. Bennett?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Am I going ahead? Okay. Thomas?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
And Shot,
Yes,
sorry.
she didn't, she was asking about the leaf sweeping.
Okay.
I'm making sure it was a separate machine.
Oh.
Got me in trouble.
Man,
It's all
they were
your
the same,
fault. You got that?
a sweeper and a.
Once before Memorial Day, once before Labor Day.
Right now, before Memorial Day.
I know.
That's all we've considered right now?
Right.
So not before Labor Day just yet? Okay.
Not yet.
Very good. I did just get some prices, I actually got one today for the dump truck, to replace the 5-ton dump truck. And I know it's gonna be sticker shock. Just for a chassis, a new international chassis is $94,000. So I'm pretty sure we can throw that out the window. But I'm looking at other options, and I would like to discuss that at another committee meeting at some other time before I move forward. But I'm still waiting on a couple prices on different things, so I'm not sure which direction to go yet. But
I did like them other two trucks you were looking at.
the used ones,
Yes.
those are options also, but you're still talking $70,000.
70,000.
So I think I have another option that would be much less expensive than that.
Okay.
Oh, and back to the street sweeping. I wanted to explain a little bit about the process of the street sweepings themselves. I have to send a sample of street sweepings out to a local laboratory to have them tested for metals, certain metals that the EPA deems as hazardous material, so that we can get rid of them. We have to have them hauled away. And for years now, we've been storing them here down by the street garage. And there's a pile of them down there. And in order to get rid of them, I have to have a special permit so I can take them to the landfill. So I've reached out to the laboratory, they sent me a sample bottle. I'm gonna fill that. So continuing on with the street sweepings, anytime someone sweeps, they leave the sweepings here in a pile, and we have to get rid of them. So this is something we have to do to continue that process. It's a little bit more expensive to take them to the landfill, but we have no choice. There are sweepings, we have to dispose of them, so I have to get that permit, and I've started the process. to
Have
do
we
that.
ever did that before, Jim, that you know of? I don't think so. In
There's-
other words, we swept and just stuck it down the garage and left it there, huh?
It's still there, yes.
Must be a hell of a pile.
It's probably 100 tons at least, it's a pretty good size pile.
I don't even remember it, tell you the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably enough there to fill the salt barn.
So how much is that gonna cost to do that?
I don't know yet till I get the permit and it shows us what's in it. And then I submit that to Kimball landfill, and then they come back with a per ton price for me.
Take a sample out of the clean area.
Well, yeah.
What kind of metals are they? Any kind of metal, Jim? I don't understand it. I
It's
never.
an 8-panel metal test. So I don't know which all metals, but it's stuff it's an EPA thing. And, you know, you have to, it's something you have to do. I had to do it
We
in
must have
Brewster.
forgot that because it never was brought up before.
I can't see metals coming from around here off sweeping the streets anyhow.
Oh yeah, metal always falls off of vehicles, off of tires.
You're right.
Mufflers,
We got a lot of people that hold junk, you
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
people that hold junk.
Oh, yeah, you know about those.
My
Yeah, stay
tire
away-
does.
Stay away from 7th Street.
So, last item,
Sweep that.
Mr. Bailey, you questioned me on the parking signs for, was it Church Street?
Somebody told me they were up.
They are
Yeah,
up
they
now.
are.
And I haven't gotten any complaints. I believe the police are making sure that it's staying open and,
The only one I had was from a woman, what happens when it snows out,
Yeah.
and we don't have no place to put our cars. I said, tough, park it in the grass, is all I can tell you.
Well, she can't park on
How
the
is
streets
that
anyways when
hammer?
it snows.
pump
Not
Well,
on.
and you don't have to supply parking.
I know we had problems
But
with
safety.
The last couple of days, so they have
what is it now?
It's a
completely
hammer
been
pump.
off the road, so that's really
Out on
good, so
Justice.
nobody's complaining.
I mean, we had, there was 2 or 3 times that hammer pump out on Justice.
Oh,
The
yeah,
hammerhead, where it hits the
hammerhead.
water, hits the,
Yeah,
right.
the lot, okay.
we had problems with it, and we had flooding back there and everything else on Justice.
Yep. they've
Is
had-
that still doing well?
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about, Rod, I haven't experienced that yet.
I can tell you about it.
there you go.
Well, I've been trying to get it fixed for a long time.
Well, I thought they fixed it,
No,
and they had to replace it.
they did, no, they never did that.
No, because it
No, the
was,
price was $4,000 some dollars or something to put the hammer in. It's
They
sitting-
just repaired it?
They repair the brakes every time
That's it, what
it
they did.
shatters a brake.
That's right.
Okay, you might wanna check that, it's out on Justice.
Rickles driveway. The farm driveway.
At
up
the
over
dead
the-
end of the line out there.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, I'm with you now. I haven't experienced it yet, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I will look into that, Rod.
Yeah, because, we did have to repair that 2 or 3 times out
Right.
there.
More than that.
And I wanted to get it in so we wouldn't have to do that, and wouldn't have the blow up and break.
Right.
But nobody ever got it done.
Okay, yep, something else I need to learn.
Well, we ain't supposed to throw all this at you at one time, Jim. Just take your time.
We'll get there.
he told me you can't make it too tough on you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
On our record of my meeting last time, we had on here the water and sewer department, the EPA didn't expect it, and violations was expected.
Yes, and sometimes that takes a while to get those back. I know Lonnie has been communicating with the EPA, the gentleman from the EPA, answering some of his questions as we move forward. I've been helping Lonnie with that, and we're working through some of those. I know one of the ones is the backflow device inspections that we do annually. We're working on a letter to send out to make sure that gets done. We are going to give people a little bit more time to respond to that, to get their backflows inspected because of, we're being late and just the way things have been going the last 2 years. So we're looking into creating that letter, sending that out, getting that done. There's a long list of things that the gentleman had problems with, the water wastewater department. They're not as serious as he makes them out to be, and a lot of them are simple fixes, and a lot of them are just wording on some things. So the more I'm learning about this, it's becoming easier, and we should resolve this pretty quickly. We still may have notices of violation, but they're not as serious as they sound.
And I got mine done a long time ago.
Good man.
I think so.
Yeah. I know you
And I'm done, thank
Okay,
you.
Mr. Spike, thank you. Mr. Babbitt?
The only thing I have is, on Thursday, Deb had sent me another AMP document that they were requesting that the village sign and return. And on Friday, I called and left a message with their attorney. I have not yet heard back from them. But in the event that I get the information, I'll probably prepare the legislation just so that it can be considered. And then for next meeting, and hopefully have answers as to the questions as to exposure liability, benefit, and whether or not there's some need that we sign these. Because I know we've signed them in the past. I don't understand what I've never seen the membership agreement that we have with them. So I'm not sure what the terms are on that. So hoping to get information on that. When I have it, I'll pass it along. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else? Anyone? Meeting's over, thank you.